Hi, well, don't know what that was. Look. I'll let it roll into the next one. I've had a day. Let's get on to this. If this is better, right, I am blurred, because that's what you want to see. Right? Now, Jeremy said, right, stick it on a mini, checkmate mini case. But I did better than that. I stuck it on top of a Commodore CDTV. That's the one you want to see. So, yes, we now have. I am a bit out of focus. I'm going to bring myself back in a little bit, I think. There we go. That's a bit better. It's better looking at that. So I say this every time. God, that is quite. Oh, it's changed colour. Look. I say this every time. This is not going to be a long stream. I'm literally. I as you can tell, I did this literally at the last minute because I got a message saying these were coming. I was expecting them tomorrow, and they said they were coming today, and it literally arrived an hour before the stream was supposed to. It arrived around 7 o'clock. So. Yeah, they they literally just got here. So as you can see, they're not built, they're not nothing. Now, no eagle-eyed among you are not going to notice this. There was one little thing is, you notice I've got a panel inside the black one. That's not just to make it look cool. Oh, by the way, black. Can you see why I don't want black when it comes to marketing? You can't see the damn thing. Yeah, but. The funny thing was, see if you can spot not a mistake, but see if you can spot something. Yes. They sent me two white frames instead of a black one and a white one. Typical, isn't it? So I thought I'll put the black the black panel in because then it looks right. Okay. Now, important to understand what these are is these are the tooling's done. These are the first samples of the tooling to check the measurements. So they haven't got any texture. They've not had the texture put onto them yet because they're going to have this texture. So they've not been textured. So what they've done is they've sprayed them the colour. So to be honest, it's hard to tell the difference. Apart from that, you can feel the difference in the material. It's hard to tell the difference in looks between that and the 3D prints. Yeah, you can't really tell the difference. It's a bit of a matte finish. The final one's going to have a bit of a. It's textured. It's no point me describing it because I'll make a really bad job of it. But we think we've got a nice texture for the monitors. And of course, again, you're only going to see that when you actually get them. It's a really tricky one. But so they're here, and I haven't even had a chance to, apart from put a panel in. Here's a couple of parts. Here's the stand, and here's the other bottom bit of the stand, and that kind of goes in there, and it really is actually quite smooth. I always knew it would be, but the actual way it slides. Sounds wrong. The way it actually moves is really nice on the stand. So Yeah, there's a sample of stand. I've got a whole load of bezels downstairs, different size bezels. They actually sent me 3. Two painted, one black, one white, and one that's unpainted, so I can have a look at that. But there you go. So now where we are at the moment is I've got to now I've got to build these. I've got to go through them, see if there's any issues, etc., etc. Because basically, once I say go, then they will do the texturing, and then it's ready to manufacture. So yeah, it's an interesting one, but I thought it's worth sharing, as I like to. As you know, I'm going to Germany on Friday. I'm going to probably take them, I don't know whether to take the black one because it's not the finished texture. And so people go, oh, it doesn't look, yes, I know. I don't know if I can be bothered explaining it 500 times. I might put, if I do take it, I'll put a stick on it, just so people can see, because it's not the final texture, because it's just a sample to check the dimensions and everything fits well. So, but as you can see, it's going to be shinier than that, because that's a matte paint. It's going to be more not glossy, kind of in the middle, with a bit of texture on it. So of course, I do actually have a part. Somewhere. It's probably up in the loft. No, here it is. Again, you're not really going to be able to tell. That's kind of, but it's a little bit more shiny than we're going to have. Black's a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So I just hope I get it right, because I know that a lot of people are going to love it and a lot of people are going to dislike it. Hopefully I get a balance so that everyone goes, yeah, it's cool. That's kind of a big deal. The white just looks brilliant. They always do. That's why I always have white ones made. Yeah, so I'm going to do a Q&A this one. They're here. I can't really say much about them at the moment because I've only been here an hour and I've literally just taken them out of the box. So I'm going to have a look for some questions. And again, this is going to be quite short because, to be fair, I've not got an awful... for those people who were saying about the... please get rid of that blue. Red. Red LED. So we're having a red LED. Yeah, so what can I say? You've probably all seen this. We've been testing this. Again, it might be changes. But this is the actual slot 0. Now this is a final version prototype. Yeah, but as you can see, this is going to be black. It's all going to be black. I can't tell you too much because things change. There's the internal HDMI, and there's an HDMI out, HDMI in, etc., etc. But also, sorry. So, for example, app is scalar, yeah, with the riser board. It's a bit big at the moment. This was an experimental one. For those who want to run a Pi, so this is the latest version. I'm getting rid of that bottom one. You don't need that bottom one, but that's an HDMI out, so they have cable. And basically what this is a frame with all the cables and the screws and everything you need, plus this really nice little, I mean, I like it. We've got this standardized, this switch all the way up and down the system in the same place. And then of course you've got your, this is actually a very long HDMI ribbon, really long when it turned up. Jesus, I could reach it out the window. Yeah, you can see, so that's basically the kit. And of course I was originally cutting around there to match, but because of the Pi 5 they reversed it. So I'm going to leave it like that, so there's a gap above the network, but that means both 4 and 5 can fit. I think makes sense. I've got a 5 on order. As soon as it comes, I'll take it. But yeah, quite pleased with that. Look, there's nothing. There are other things. I can't say nothing because not until I'm yay or nay. Well, we are still working on things. So people ask, where are we? I will say, one person today, pissed me off's the wrong word, to be fair. It's not. But only one person's come. Oh, you're not making much progress. And I'm not very happy about this whole money handling thing. So fine, I'll refund your money. So I'm waiting for him. I think he'll back out of that. But I said, just send me I'll give you your money back. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's not worth the hassle. We've got 300 people, need 300 waiting on the waiting list. Everyone's been fantastic. And I think this guy may change his mind. We'll see. I'm not really that bothered. There's a lot of work going into this. Appy's working himself stupid. He's been on holiday, come back, next day, bang, straight into it. And yesterday, Sunday, I'm able to tell him to rest, and he's still working. So, we're both working quite hard on this. As you know, I'm going to China end of the month. I've got to probably out there for a week again. I'm not just going out there for holiday. But yeah, there's a few things that we need to sort out. Need to talk to the suppliers, and power supplies have been ordered, and the remote controls. I know it sounds like a silly thing, but these remote controls, they're going to put these logo stickers. I've sent the stickers, and basically they're going to get one of them. And we're having a box made for the PSU that goes in, and it hides into a compartment in the foam, so it's all protected. So they're being made at the moment. I can't say when. Basically, as I said, there's a couple of things that we're waiting on, and I can't tell you what it is. And even Happy said, "Oh, there is stuff," but yeah, he's absolutely right. But there's no point me telling you about something. It's quite big news, but if it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off, and there's no point me saying anything. If it does come off, I think you might be happy. Like Happy. They're here. And tomorrow I'm going to spend the day with them. Going to be experimenting. Because on Wednesday I'm out on the motorbike again. Around Thetford, trying to kill myself. Maybe not. But off-roading in the sand. I love the sand. Right, let's see if there's any questions. Because again, I'm going to keep this fairly brief. Because there's nothing more to say. They're here. There they are. You can have a better look, I suppose. Now, I mean, you can't really tell the difference. You can see the shiny metal inside. And it is very glossy, the metal. But, they do look really nice. They do feel nice. And the way that stand moves is really nice as well. So, Right, let's have a look at the questions. Jeremy, as always, is in first. Can you put the black display onto a Checkmate 1500 Mini? No. No, because I stuck it on the CDTV. Because it looks a lot cooler. But basically, the Mini is exactly the width of the main panel. I mean, there's pictures on the Kickstarter. Go and look at the pictures on the Kickstarter, I think. But it's exactly the same width as the monitor, and I've done this loads of times. I thought it looked... The CDTV's been crying out for a black monitor for a long time, and there you go. That black display looks really cool. I really like it in oyster white, but that black one looks really nice. So, yep, absolutely right. I guess it's in the house. Yep, dude. Party outside. Nice words. Secret Service squirrel. Yeah, he's he says, "Shut up, Happy," and he's very good. He's very good because it's just. I've learned from experience. If you even give a clue, it just backfires. So it's not worth it. It's interesting now the 17 looks a bit taller merely for the fact the bottom edge of the screen sits higher. It's true, yeah. It's not though. We can see from the picture. Obviously they're the same size, 17 and 19. It's the same chassis, it's just a different bezel. Is the foot narrower or is it an optical illusion because it is taller? No, they're the same size. Isn't that the old monitor? Oh God, hang on. Sorry. Oh God, I hate this, the way it jumps. It does that. Sorry. Isn't that the old monitor where the bottom edge had to be taped off? Yes. No. No, that's over here. That one's fine. That was a 17 inch. That'd be taped off because I didn't make it deep enough. On the website, it says that EU customers will get an email requesting payment of their local VAT. This is after shipping. So this is for Hero Vegan. When the product ships, because it's going to go by DHL, as soon as it ships, they will instantly, as soon as the system bang, it sends you an email. Here's how much you've got to pay VAT. You pay the VAT, and if you do it between the time, if you do it straight away, it won't stop, won't delay the shipping, and it'll, because they're usually like 2 or 3 days. It's really quick. So pay it straight away, but that's when you'll get the email. It's not a 16, it's a 17. All he did was buy a can of black spray paint. Well, yes, I didn't do it, but yes, it's black, it's sprayed, because it's not finished. So for those that come in, missed the beginning, these are pre-textured samples of the finished tooling. Okay, that's what they are. Yeah, Stephen's greatest ally and greatest troll. Nah, he's not a troll. But I like the comment. Black looks nice. Gives me an idea. Does anyone know the Pantone for yellow day 500 case? Matte colour match. Can we switch colours? No. No. Well, yes. If you're going to do it. The problem is, it's always that thing. You know, because that's very matte black, right? It's not what it's going to look like. There'll be a bit, I don't want to say shiny. It's going to have a bit more, I don't even know what the word is. It's going to look, well, where's that little thing? I mean, this will give you, I suppose, the closest you're going to get to an example. I put it down and lost it. Yeah, put it down and lost it. Oh, well, there you go. Right, what's the next question? Black, yeah, will look good in black checkmate cases, that's for sure. Can't wait for my black one. Perfect for my Specky. Yeah, I should put a Specky in front of it, but then again, CDTV under a black monitor. I mean, come on. Looking forward to seeing those live on the Amiga 38 fair on Saturday. Assuming I bring them, I probably will. Because I have a real concern. Now I'm going to put stickers on them that says pre-textured painted samples, right? And I bet 25% of people go, is that what they look like? No, pre-textured. So because you know because when they come out the tool, like before they're textured, they're kind of rough. So rough is not really rough. I've seen the non-painted ones. They look really nice, but in the black they would look horrible, you know, sandpaper. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a bit nervous of bringing it because it's just to give people, yes, they are black. It's the only reason I might bring it is to go, yes, there's a black one, but this isn't the finish, and they're going to make it bloody clear on the top of the monitor that this is a pre-textured, painted samples, but they are the finished things. Well, unless there's any issues and we have to fix. Yeah, it does look nice on CDTV. Much better choice, don't you think? What is the plan to ship the first screens out to the customers? Is there a date quarter yet? All right, look, it's going to be New Year, right? It's going to be early in the New Year, but it's going to be the New Year. There's no point beating around the bush, because if as I said, at the end of the month, I'm going to go out to China, and we're going to just probably get these all signed off and get ready to go, right? It might be a tweaks, I don't know, because I've not played with them yet, so we'll have to wait and see if there's any tweaks. Hopefully not with the rear, because that's really expensive. But that looks fine. But again, I've literally just had 15 minutes to put that panel in, because these two came built. But realistically, there's a good chance they will maybe ship by the end of the year, but then it's 6 weeks to arrive. So. But I'm not rushing. I can't rush this because now the good thing is once I sign these off, it's only 30 days to make them, and also all the other bits is only like 30 days to make them. But we obviously have to time them all together so they all get manufactured and arrive in time. to get assembled. So that's kind of important. That's but the things I can't tell you are really important, and so it is holding stuff up. It's before anyone thinks it's zappy. It is electronics. I'll be fair, although the chassis is only just finished. Look, I can't tell you what it is because I don't know if it's going to work out yet. If it works out, you'll understand, you'll get it, and you go, oh, wow. Hopefully, right? So that's that. The white ones don't have the problems with fingerprints. Oh, God, yeah. Well, I'm hoping with this texture one, you might not have the fingerprint issue so much because the black painted ones were a nightmare. They always were. Where's that bit gone? What do I do with that bit? That's really annoying. I put it down somewhere and I don't know where because it's black. You can't see it. Here you go. So, and this is only to give you an example. This is not necessarily exact finish, but can you see? You can't really tell, but it's got a bit of a sheen to it. Okay, and but you can see it does have a bit. It reacts with the light. So that's the kind of texture we're going for, but toned back a bit. But it will make it come alive more than just that horrible matte black paint. But that's that's what I say. It's very hard to show that without actually having it finished. I want a clear one. yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Looking forward to seeing those live on Amiga Fair. Comet looks nice on CDTV. What is the plan to ship? I've done that. The white one don't have the problems with fingerprint yet. I've done that. Are you making a new mount for the Raspberry Pi? No, as I explained a minute ago, this mount should work on both because it's really just cables. And all they've done is they've swapped the network back again. They swapped these around. So I'm going to keep that gap above the network. That means a 4 and 5 should fit. And I got a 5 on back order. So that should be fine. And then it's just really cables and that little switch with the cable that goes to the back plane and then the HDMI to the internal HDMI or the switcher. Ignore last screen. Yeah, okay. Are you still thinking about keyboard stuff? Oh, he's done it again. Yes. But it's a nightmare because yes, I'm trying to, but I did have what I thought was a supplier, but they can't support PS2. And so I wanted it to be PS2 because you can convert from PS2 back to Amiga quite easily. Whereas USB is a lot more tricky because you need that PS2 protocol. So back off again with it. I'm hoping other people. Look, there's loads of people out there to do it. Still waiting, but we'll see. You can't spell happy without happy. I noticed last week my credit card got refunded. I can't make the bank transfer to the end of the month. Will that still be alright? Yes, it's fine. You won't lose your place. It's all good. It's fine. We're up to about 500 people are paid. I might be just over 500 now, actually. So we're approaching the amount. We've had a few people that, I've got to do my credit card. As I've said to everyone, when we start actually shipping, we will have credit card facilities again. The problem is, one of the reasons we lost this because we were taking pre-orders, and I assumed it was all okay, but they got the ump with it, especially that amount. So we're going to do it, wait until the shipping. Now, if you need to put it on the Never Never, like I bought my motorbike boots, £400, I put them on the credit card, I'll pay them next month. If you need to do that, and you've already done it once, no one's going to lose their place. I'm not going to do that. If you can pay earlier, fantastic. It really helps. But if you can't, leave it till later, that's fine. Also, and I've said this many times, if you ordered 2 monitors and you've come to the conclusion, actually, this is getting a bit expensive, can I have just one? Yes, the system will try and talk you out of it. But if you've paid for 2, You can use that to just have one and add the extras, and then there'll be a little bit on top probably, but that's fine. It becomes a problem if you can't do it. I know this is not a sales thing. If the amount, you have to have something to pay. You've got to pay, because the system will freak out. It's not going to like it. We don't like negative, right? Because that means we've got to do a refund. We can't do that. It's just too much hassle. So it's very unlikely you're going to have that issue. But ideally, you need to be over the amount, okay, just to make life easier. Otherwise, I'll sling you to the back of the queue. But yeah, if you do want to drop to one monitor to help, then that's absolutely fine. There's lots of people on the waiting list. Are you where you need to be to financially post the banking issues? Do you mean past? So we've not quite reached the amount we've reached, but I can't go into details, all right? But the way I'm not going to go into details, but we're structuring the ordering. We've got plenty of money to order a huge amount and get them in and start shipping, and then we'll order another huge amount, and we're probably going to do this in 2 batches because of this. That's not because we can't, it's because we need to reach probably over half, at least half. We're only on 500 out of 1,400, and we really need to reach another 200-300 people paying by bank transfer, and then we could order more. But then we got space issues, you see. It's a balancing act, juggling act. So we'll put in place, but bear in mind that at the moment the amount of people that paid is about 500 monitors. So again, I can't go into details, but we're working it so we can balance everything, if that makes sense. But everything's fine. Everything's really good. So it's, even with the money we've got so far, it's absolutely hunky-dory. So nothing to worry about. Please don't worry. Everything's absolutely brilliant. It's just a pain that, we've had to restructure everything because of this issue with the credit card facility that's been pulled. But I know for a fact, as soon as we open up credit card facilities, the money was just dumped straight on us. And so that'll be cool. So we're planning with that in mind, because this is a business. We have to make it work. We've got things to pay, but everything's absolutely cool. So nothing to worry about. Does the monitor have rubber feet in case the foot is omitted? Well, no. I put I'm going to put the same velvet feet on the bottoms. If you've probably seen, it's got these little round. These, and it's exactly the right. It's been designed to be exactly the right size to put our little. Let me just go back to this so you can see the monitors. Yeah, there you go. So you put little pads on it. They're foam pads like the cases, and I prefer them to rubber. If you put rubber, it sticks, and sometimes it can leave a mark. Whereas these are nice foam, and they protect whatever surface you're putting them on, and you can slide the monitor on it, and they're actually really good. And this is, admittedly it's sprayed, and this is actually really nice. So the way this is lovely and smooth. So once you get these, I think you're going to be pleased with these. Right, next question. My perfect inputs would be RF, SCART, VGA, and HDMI. I can't even say it. Any plans for RF? Well, there's always been VGA. RF's, it's planned, so all good. Double checking if the Pi 5 should fit the Pi fixing kit. Yeah, as I've already said, the only difference with the Pi, well, far as I can tell, the only difference with the Pi is they've reversed the positions of the RJ45. They moved it over here. I assume it's about access of data paths and that kind of thing. But it just means that there's a hole above it, yeah. It was straight. I actually pushed it down, but I've pushed it back up again, because then you can switch them around. So the 5 should just go straight in there and work without any issues. The other good thing, it needs a 5 amp power supply. Our power supplies are rated for 5 amps on the 5 volt line. So you're going to get no problem with power. there's no issues at all with the power. Even if you put Appy's retro scaler, I think if it takes an amp, you'd be lucky. I don't think it'd take an amp. But of course, that's coming out of 5 amps. And the other thing is, whilst we quote 5 amps, it will go higher. But you know, if you're interested in that, you need to look in the manual. I marked it as 5 amps because it's bang on 5, perfect. But you know, it will go higher. Okay, but I'm not going to say any more now. You need to look at the manual to understand that yes, it will go above it. Okay. So basically, the voltage, when you go above 5 amps and 5.5 amps, the voltage will slightly dip below 5 volts. Okay, and it comes down to like 4.9, 4.85, something like that. Most things are fine, but that's why I put. That's half hour then, is it? That's why we've put on the power supply, on the back of the power supply, it says 5 volts, 5 amps. But you can go higher. Don't go mad. You know, 6 or 7 amps, as long as you're okay with that slight sag above 5 amps. Up to 5 amps, bang on 5 volts. It's really solid. I think it's slightly over. So it's really solid. But yeah, that's the reason for that. But for as far as the Pi 5, they recommend a 5 amp power supply, and you've got a 5 amp power supply. Surely it will look blacker with texture. Yeah, as I said, it's kind of this. It's got a bit of a sheen on this. You can see that in the light. Yeah, it's got a bit of a sheen. We're going to try and tone it down a bit. It's how they pull it out of the press and the heat or something. Because this is quite shiny, but it does actually look really nice. But it will give it a bit of movement, and that's why I quite like this texture. Now, again, this is what I like, not what you lot like. I know it's horrible. It's not a democracy on this because I have to build what I think looks cool and hope I'm right. So if you imagine that, but a bit duller. What you can't see is how cool the text looks. It's shiny. So we've indented the text now. It's not sticking out. So it's indented. Now, when they're sprayed, it kind of covers it all up. But when they're actually textured, the text is perfectly smooth, right? Shiny smooth. And the texture all around it. And it really stands out, especially in black. So the actual logo is going to look amazing. So that's that. Oh God. Will you be at Amiga 38 with monitors? I'm going to be there. More than likely taking both of them. I'm definitely taking that one there because that's my original. That's the original concept, right? And I'm taking that with me because I actually really like that one. It's got my Mister in it. It's got everything in that one, and I absolutely love it. So I'm bringing that one, and I'm more than likely gonna bring both these. As I said, I'm concerned because even though I'm gonna put pre-textured matte sprayed, people are gonna look at it and go, "Oh, I don't know, why is that?" Yeah, you know what I mean. That's the real fear, right? Is people looking at it, not reading the bloody thing that's going to be written right across the front of it, as long as they understand that. But look, it's black, it's going to look cool. Because that's matte, and you don't want it gloss, because that'll look rubbish. What you need is something between the two, you know, so something that's got a bit of texture, and that's what we're going for. What have I missed? What not? The New Year's looking pretty exciting. Checkmate monitors, X16 boards. Yeah, that'd be quite something. Try stuff out. The trouble is I've got too much stuff. I don't get time to use them. Does the extra power draw the Raspberry Pi cause an issue? No, I've already explained that. We got 5 amps and theoretically a lot higher. But 5 amps I've set it. I mean, originally I was going to say 4. Luckily, because I said them put 4 amps on the back. They're actually written 5 because that is literally when we get to 5 and it's a solid 5 volts. And then it very slowly above 5, 6, 7. Very slowly the voltage drops a little bit, and it is a little bit. We're going to put the chart in the power supply, but that's why it says 5 amps on the back, solid. So yeah, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, matte black. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but it's no good because it's painted. Yeah. Will you rework the Raspberry Pi mount for the cases? I know this isn't a monitor question. I have, yes. There you go. And I'll probably be bringing that with me as well. Thanks, Clever. I was really surprised my payment got refunded as I thought I was one of the early birds you mentioned. I have an MOT in 2 weeks and I'm just bracing for it to fail. Yeah, I know those feelings. I've been there. Will the monitors be numbered? No, we haven't got time. I haven't got time for that. People, serial numbers. I haven't got time for that. It would be nice, but we just haven't got time. As DHL shipments here, as far as I remember, DHL would collect the VAT on behalf of the customs office. The DHL will send you pay DHL. There is that bloody annoying handling charge. I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it. It's about €12 or something. It wouldn't matter if it's £20,000, it's still €12. There is that, I'm afraid. But then you get it in. Now, ultimately, going forward, I've already got a German distributor, so going forward, it'd be better. But you're early adopters. I think the back of the Pi 5 is the same puzzle. Yeah, it looks pretty much identical to me, but we'll find out when I've got one. What about the power button on Pi 5? It's a good question. See, I haven't got one. Now, that is a really good question because they've got now a soft power button. I'm not quite sure because it's on the side and it be inside. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do. Maybe theoretically, I don't know what we can do. It would be nice if there was a connector so you can connect onto it and switch it. Yeah, that's a tricky one. We might be able to get around it, but I don't know yet. I truly don't know. Finger hole in the case. Yes, we could put up. I don't know. Let's wait until I got it. Because I did with this. Actually, what I did with this, I put a bar going through, and it kind of rocked onto that button. So maybe something like that. I don't know. Right. Well, that's an hour. I think that's enough. Right. Any more questions? Get them in there quick. You got about a minute. I'll answer any more questions, and if not, then I'm going to go because it's actually quite hot in here. It's quite warm in here. I know I'm banging on about this. The case mount won't work with the Pi 5 because they've removed the composite connector and there are components in the... I don't know what you mean because if you mean this, don't connect it. It's simple. It's only an audio output. You just don't connect it, or you have to make a custom cable to plug in because I do remember something about that. But that I'm talking about physically mounting it. It will mount. I'm not sure why you would need the composite and stereo output. I can understand why you want the second HDMI output, but you're going to power this internally, and you're going to run the HDMI to the internals. And then USB, everything's on the outside. So, did power supply have overload? No, but oh yes. I knew Happy would jump in there. We had a lot of fun with the power supply. He built a really big rig, and the first thing he does is short circuit the buggers, and nothing happens. It just goes. Power drops, take it off, power comes back up. It's brilliant. So, I think, it's good. Sorry, Jeremy. I'm talking about the case one. Sorry. Okay. Yes, that won't work in a million years. That's the only Pi 5. And I can't get them anymore. They're gone. No more. Kaput. That's why I've taken that pack away. I've turned it off because... I can't get them, and I'm working on a cabling solution like this one for the cases. Sorry, I misunderstood. Right. Pass by. Would not accept any. I did not meet my. Yeah, we had 100 of them. I said, make us a batch of 100 to test. We take this stuff seriously. The most important thing was the power supplies. It has to be good. He tested them to. Well, actually, I don't think he could destroy these. But we really got ramped up some ampage out of these things, and had a whale of a time. So I've got 100 power supplies, each one testing. Now, we based it on the fact of if they all passed, we'd order 2,000, whatever. And so that's the way it went. Is there Visa support? Yes. Yeah, the holes in the back of Visa. I actually adjusted the holes. They're 200mm. Yeah, the 200mm Visa. Let me grab it. Oh, you can see it. Right, see that hole, that hole, that hole, and that hole. That mounts the metalwork to this. So you have to be careful when you do it. But so that's 200mm, and so you can put a Visa mount. Now, I'm not sure you're going to want to do this because you're going to have a load of outputs here. So it depends on your mount. But the holes are there, 200mm. I did it for that one. We couldn't do the 100 obviously because it's a big hole. 200mm is one of the Visa standards, so that's why that's like that. Right, I am going to go. So hopefully this was helpful. Anyone's come along and have a look. There it is. There's the black monitor. For people keep saying, "Do you do a black monitor?" Yeah, it's there. You go. But it's matte. It's matte painted. So this is pre-textured because what they do is they send me the samples. We check to make sure everything fits and everything's okay. If it is, then they texture them because once they texture, there's nothing much they can do. But there you go. For that one person who said you ain't making much progress, go away. Yeah. So hopefully you're pleased that people who do not know me. I am Appy, a master of engineer, and also confirmed chartered. Look at that! I tell you, engineers, and he does. God, he does. The white and verdict is Commodore White Cream. So anyway, look at that on a CD TV. I'm really tempted to just take actually that CD TV. Maybe. That's kind of a... Because how long have we been waiting for a black monitor for the CD TV? Because you can't get them. Anyway. As I said, well, the other thing, interestingly, if you look at this texture might actually... It's actually very close to the lid of the CD TV, this texture. And again, because it's got the angles, it reflects the light. Yeah. And so there's less of that on there because it's more rounded. And we kind of tone it down a little bit, I think. I don't do it, it's down to them, but it's to do with the heat. But the texture's going to be really nice. And it's going to definitely stand out, and I think it's going to look fantastic. But again, we have to test it first. Right, I'm going to go. I hope you enjoyed seeing it. Sorry, well, it wasn't brief, it's an hour. Will I do another one next week? Because I'm back from Germany. Oh, I don't know. Probably not next week. I'm going to be probably tired because I'm driving back and I'll be back really late on Sunday. So probably not. But who knows? Right, okay, I'm going to go, if I can find this button, press the end stream button, and then I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks everyone for being here. Speak to you soon, and goodbye.